Are you ready to break free from the chains of doubt and fear that have been holding you back? Imagine a life where you don't just dream about success, you live it. Where every obstacle that once seemed insurmountable becomes just another stepping stone toward your goal. The truth is, the life you've always wanted is within your reach, but it's going to require something from you. Courage. Today I want to talk about something that will change everything for you. It's not about having the perfect plan or waiting for the right moment. It's about the one thing that separates those who merely wish from those who truly achieve the courage to act. You see, to get whatever you want in life, you must first be willing to embrace discomfort, challenge your limits, and move forward despite fear. This isn't just about having courage in a big moment. It's about making courage a habit, a way of life. So I want to ask you, are you ready to take the first step toward the life you've been dreaming of? Are you ready to step into your greatness, even when the path ahead seems uncertain? Stick with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to share will give you the tools, the mindset, and the motivation to unlock the power within you. This is your moment. Let's dive in. Most people move through life chasing goals they've never stopped to define. They want success, but they don't know what it looks like. They seek happiness, but haven't asked what truly brings it. They crave a better life, but haven't paused to understand what better even means. This is the silent epidemic: ambition without direction. And that's why clarity of purpose is the non-negotiable first step. If you ever hope to get what you want in this life, until you understand what you're aiming for and why it matters, you're just throwing darts in the dark and hoping to hit something worthwhile. You might have moments of progress, you might stumble into wins now and then, but they won't last because they were not designed. They were accidents. A clear purpose acts like a compass. It gives your energy direction and your decisions, meaning clarity begins with asking the right questions, not just giving the right answers. What drives you? What wakes you up in the morning when no one is watching? What burdens you enough to want to solve it? What ignites you deeply enough to endure the struggle that comes with chasing it? These are not soft philosophical questions. These are essential strategic ones. The clearer you are about your purpose, the more powerful your actions become. When your purpose is blurry, your decisions will be inconsistent. You'll say yes to things that dilute your focus. You'll chase opportunities that lead you away from your path. But when your purpose is razor sharp, your mind, your time, your habits, and your relationships all start aligning toward the outcome you truly want. Purpose is not about being grandiose or flashy. It's about being specific and honest. You don't need the applause of the world to pursue something meaningful. What you need is a vision that you believe in so deeply, you're willing to pay the price to pursue it. That clarity changes how you talk, how you walk, how you work, and how you recover from failure. Purpose doesn't eliminate pain. It gives pain a reason. It doesn't remove obstacles. It gives you the resolve to push through them. And that kind of fire is not something you can borrow from someone else. You have to dig deep and discover it for yourself. When your purpose is clear, decisions become easier. You don't waste time trying to please everyone. You don't second guess yourself every 5 minutes. You don't chase distractions dressed as opportunities. You know where you're going, and you can say no without guilt and yes without fear. Clarity of purpose also attracts alignment. The right people, the right mentors, the right opportunities. These begin to find their way to you because you have something rare: certainty. In a world full of confusion and noise, certainty stands out. People are drawn to it. They trust it, and when you carry that, doors begin to open that stayed shut for everyone else. Getting what you want in life starts with knowing exactly what you want and understanding why it matters. Not for social approval, not for validation, not for applause, but because it deeply resonates with who you are and what you are meant to do. That clarity doesn't make the journey easy, but it makes the journey worth it. It becomes the standard by which you measure your growth and the fuel that pushes you forward when others give up. Without it, you will wander. With it, you will win. Belief is the foundation of every lasting achievement. Before anything happens in the physical world, it must first be established in the mind. What you believe about yourself determines what you attempt, what you endure, and ultimately what you achieve. The problem is that most people don't fail because of lack of opportunity or talent. They fail because they never truly believe they could succeed. They might wish for something, hope for something, even pray for something, but deep down they're sabotaged by self-doubt. And when doubt dominates your inner world, it limits your actions in the outer world. Belief, however, transforms limitations into stepping stones. It lifts your vision from what is to what could be. It empowers you to persist where others quit and to rise where others shrink back. To believe in yourself is not arrogance, it's alignment. It means you've come to terms with your value, your purpose, and your power. It means you no longer let past failures define your future identity. When you believe in your mission and your ability to fulfill it, you show up differently. You speak with conviction. You walk with intention. You act with courage, even when you're afraid. That kind of belief is magnetic. It draws people in. But it also repels fear, insecurity, and the toxic voices that try to keep you small. Without belief, even the best plans crumble. With belief, even uncertain paths can be walked with confidence. Belief changes how you see obstacles. To the unbelieving mind, every challenge is a reason to quit. To the believing heart, every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. When you believe in the outcome, the pain makes sense. When you trust your ability to rise, the setbacks don't paralyze you. Most people wait to believe until they have proof, but belief always comes before proof. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers fantasize and wait for a sign. Doers believe first and create the sign through their actions. Belief is not about lying to yourself. It's about choosing to see the truth that you are capable, worthy, and ready, even when circumstances try to tell you otherwise. Every breakthrough in life starts with someone who believed it was possible. History is full of people who accomplished the impossible, not because they had more resources, but because they had more resolve. They didn't wait for certainty, they created certainty. They weren't free from fear, they simply didn't let fear win. And that came from a deep-rooted belief that they were born for more. You will never rise above the story you tell yourself. If you constantly feed your mind with reasons why it won't work, why you're not ready, why others are better, you'll prove yourself right. But when you start feeding your spirit with truth, with courage, with vision, your actions begin to reflect that new belief. You try harder, you stay longer, you invest deeper, you move forward. Belief is a decision. It's not a mood or a personality trait. You can choose to believe in yourself even when you feel shaky. You can choose to trust that your journey has meaning even when you don't see the results yet. And the beautiful thing is, once you begin to believe, you start attracting the life that matches that belief. People treat you differently. Opportunities open up. Confidence builds momentum. And that's the key to getting what you want. You have to believe in it before you see it. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else will. You have to speak and move and live as if the result is already set, and your only job is to rise to meet it. Desire is the spark that ignites every significant achievement in life. Without desire, effort becomes mechanical, motivation dries up, and dreams remain dormant. But when you truly want something, deeply, passionately, unshakably, it creates an energy inside you that refuses to settle for less. Desire fuels your vision, sharpens your focus, and compels you to act even when the odds are against you. It doesn't just whisper, it roars. It keeps you awake at night, not from worry but from wonder, wondering how to bring your vision to life, how to move the needle forward, how to break through the resistance. When desire becomes your dominant thought, your behavior begins to shift. You stop procrastinating, you stop making excuses, you start making moves. But here's the truth, not all desire is created equal. There's a casual wanting that many people mistake for real desire. It's the "it would be nice" kind of longing, the soft, passive wishing that disappears as soon as things get uncomfortable. That kind of desire leads nowhere. It lacks fire, direction, and discipline. True desire is different. True desire burns. It's consistent. It keeps showing up no matter how many times you've failed. It's the kind of desire that wakes up with you in the morning and still whispers to you at night. It pulls you through disappointment. It keeps your heart steady in the face of criticism. It doesn't back down when things get hard, it doubles down. When you have that kind of desire, it becomes easier to tolerate the price of growth. Because nothing worth having comes without cost. You will be stretched, challenged, tested. You will have to give up comfort. You will have to let go of convenience. But when your desire is real, the pain becomes purposeful. The struggle becomes sacred. You stop asking, "Is this too hard?" and you start asking, "Is this worth it?" And your heart always answers, yes, because desire focuses you on the end result, not the temporary discomfort. And that focus is what separates those who achieve from those who only wish. Desire creates commitment. It silences the noise of distractions. It teaches you to say no to the things that pull you off course, even if they're good things. It reminds you of what matters most and helps you endure the waiting, the silence, the delay. Many people give up right before the breakthrough because their desire wasn't deep enough. They were interested, but not committed. But when your desire runs deep, you don't walk away, you push forward. You may stumble, but you don't quit. You may feel fear, but you don't let it paralyze you. Because what you want means too much. Desire also changes how you see time. When you're not truly invested, time feels like an obstacle. You get impatient. You want results immediately. But when you're driven by strong desire, you understand that timing is part of the process. You start to trust the journey. You learn to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. You use the time to sharpen your skills, to deepen your mindset, to align your habits, because you're not just chasing a goal, you're becoming the person who's capable of holding that goal. And that transformation, fueled by desire, is what leads to lasting results. Desire is the first voice of destiny. It tells you that something more is possible. It awakens the soul and dares you to believe. But it doesn't stop there. It demands your action. It demands your perseverance. It demands that you rise above mediocrity and move toward mastery. You may not be the smartest, the most connected, or the most experienced. But when your desire is stronger than your fear, you become unstoppable. You start attracting opportunities, people, and momentum that match the intensity of what you're carrying inside. That's how mountains move. That's how new lives begin. And that's how you get whatever you want. Belief is the foundation of all transformation. Before any goal is reached, any dream fulfilled, or any breakthrough achieved, it begins in the quiet, unseen place of belief. The greatest limitation people face is not lack of opportunity, talent, or resources. It's the lack of belief in themselves and what is possible. You can have every tool in the world, but if you don't believe you can use it to build something meaningful, it will never matter. Belief is the gateway through which all power flows. It is the inner engine that transforms doubt into determination, fear into faith, and limitation into potential. If you want to get whatever you want in life, it won't start with your hands, it will start with your mind. And what you believe will determine how far you go. Belief influences every decision, every risk you take, every door you choose to open or close. When you believe in the value of your vision, you stop waiting for validation. You stop seeking permission. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's comfort zones. You begin to move with conviction, even when you don't have all the answers. You show up differently, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. Not with entitlement, but with clarity. And people notice, because belief is contagious. When you truly believe in yourself, in your mission, in your calling, others begin to believe in you too. Not because of what you say, but because of how you live. But belief is not something you simply switch on. It is built. It is cultivated through small victories and intentional repetition. The enemy of belief is not just failure, it's forgetting. Forgetting who you are. Forgetting what you've overcome. Forgetting what you carry inside. That's why you must feed your belief every single day. With your thoughts, with your words, with your actions. Speak life over your vision. Surround yourself with voices that remind you of your potential, not your past. Take small steps daily that reinforce your inner narrative. Because every action either strengthens or weakens your belief. And the results you get in life will mirror the story you tell yourself. Belief doesn't deny obstacles, it overrides them. When you truly believe, you don't pretend everything will be easy, but you do decide that it will be worth it. You stop seeing resistance as a stop sign and start seeing it as a test. You don't collapse under pressure, you rise through it. You train your mind to expect challenges, but you also train it to expect solutions. Because belief opens your eyes to opportunity even in the middle of adversity. It gives you the power to stand up again when you've been knocked down, and to keep walking when everything in you wants to quit. And when belief aligns with purpose, you become a force that cannot be ignored. You stop chasing approval because you know you're already qualified by what you carry within. You begin to operate from your core instead of your insecurity. You act as if the future you want is already unfolding, because it is. Every time you choose belief over doubt, you take another step toward becoming the person capable of receiving everything you've prayed for, planned for, and fought for. That's how belief changes your direction. That's how it alters your results. And that's how it unlocks the life you've been waiting for. Because the truth is, it's been waiting for you too. Clarity is power. Without clarity, even the most gifted individuals can wander aimlessly, chasing shadows instead of substance. Clarity is not simply about having a goal, it is about understanding exactly why that goal matters to you, what it will require, and what it will give in return. When you are clear, your actions become intentional. Your time becomes focused. Your energy becomes potent. Clarity eliminates distractions and noise, allowing you to hear the voice of purpose even in the chaos. When you know what you want, and more importantly, why you want it, you become unstoppable. You no longer entertain every opportunity, every opinion, or every fear. You move with precision, because the path is no longer blurry, it's been lit by conviction. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that movement equals progress. They hustle, they stay busy, they chase everything, and yet they never arrive. Because they lack clarity. The clearest vision creates the strongest momentum. When you know where you're going, every step counts. Every sacrifice makes sense. Every detour becomes manageable, because the destination is fixed in your mind. You're not trying to impress people or prove something, you're building something with intent. Clarity turns guesswork into strategy, it transforms effort into execution, and it makes you a magnet for the people and resources you need, because there's no confusion about what you stand for or where you're headed. Clarity is not always given, it's often forged. It comes from deep reflection, from asking the hard questions, and from being honest about what you truly value. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? What would you do if fear wasn't a factor? What matters more to you, applause or alignment? These are not surface-level questions, these are soul-level demands. And until you answer them, you will continue to run in circles. But once you get honest, brutally honest about what you want, the fog lifts, the noise fades. And suddenly you're not just surviving, you're creating clarity brings peace. Not because the path is easy, but because it is yours. You stop comparing yourself to everyone else, because you finally realize that your race has a different lane. You stop wasting energy on envy and start investing it in excellence. You become rooted, grounded, and focused. Even when you're misunderstood, you keep going. Because the vision is yours to carry, not theirs to approve. And people with clarity don't need constant validation. They are powered by purpose, not praise. That's the difference between motion and mission, and the beauty of clarity is that it simplifies everything. You know what to say yes to, and just as importantly, what to say no to. You don't need to do everything, be everywhere, or please everyone. You need only to do what aligns, and that creates an internal consistency that radiates outward. People begin to trust you, follow you, believe in you, not because you're perfect, but because you're clear. You are not guessing, you are guiding. You are not floating, you are building. That's the power of clarity. It helps you become intentional, not accidental. It helps you live forward, not backward. And when you are clear about what you want, the world makes room for your arrival. The doors begin to open. The steps begin to align. The distractions lose their power, because clarity is not just vision, it is fuel. And with it, you don't just move, you advance. Courage is the dividing line between wishing for something and going after it. It is not the absence of fear, but the decision that what you want is more important than the fear trying to stop you. Courage is the engine that moves people from maybe one day to today is the day. Without courage, dreams remain locked behind the bars of hesitation. With courage, even the smallest step becomes a declaration of war against doubt. You do not need to have everything figured out to begin, you only need the bravery to move while the fear still whispers. Every great achievement in history started with someone who had every reason to be afraid, but decided to move anyway. Courage is the habit of choosing bold action over comfortable stagnation. It's the willingness to fail publicly, to be misunderstood, to lose temporary approval in order to gain long-term purpose. Courage doesn't wait for everything to be perfect. It moves when the path is unclear, when the outcome is uncertain, when the risk is real. Courage doesn't mean you won't shake or second-guess yourself. It means you'll keep going even when you do. Because people of courage are not immune to fear, they've simply decided that fear will not be the author of their story. What holds most people back isn't a lack of skill or opportunity. It's the refusal to be uncomfortable. We want guarantees before commitment. We want applause before effort, but life doesn't work like that. Growth demands discomfort. Change requires sacrifice. And courage is the only bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not a one-time decision, it's a daily posture. Every time you speak the truth when lying would be easier, you choose courage. Every time you show up when quitting would be justified, you choose courage. Every time you step forward in faith without full visibility, you choose courage. Courage is contagious. When one person stands firm, others find the strength to rise. That's why your courage is never just about you. It's about who your bravery will inspire. It's about the doors your boldness will unlock, not only for yourself, but for others who are watching, waiting, wondering if they can do it too. Your leap becomes their proof. Your risk becomes their roadmap. That's why being courageous is an act of leadership, not just self-expression, but courage must be protected. The world is full of voices that try to shrink your bravery, people who've settled for less and want you to do the same. Don't let their fear become your ceiling. Don't let their doubt become your mirror. The more you choose courage, the more resistance you may face. That's a sign you're moving in the right direction. Boldness threatens small-minded thinking. Confidence exposes comfort zones, and when you start to live courageously, it reminds others of the potential they've ignored. To get whatever you want in life, courage must be the fuel behind your actions. Not recklessness, not arrogance, but grounded, intentional courage. The kind that says, I don't need to have every answer, I just need to take the next step. The kind that says, even if I fail, I'll grow. And even if I lose something, I'll gain something greater. This is the mindset that changes lives. This is the spirit that builds legacies. The future does not belong to those who sit back and hope. It belongs to those who step up and act. And every act of courage, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you were meant to live. As we come to the close of this journey, remember this. Getting whatever you want in life is not about chance or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about knowing your purpose, embracing your courage, committing fully, and taking consistent action. It's about trusting yourself, even when the path isn't clear, and being willing to grow through every challenge. The power to transform your dreams into reality lies within you, waiting to be unleashed by your belief and determination. Hold fast to your vision. Keep moving forward with faith, and never let fear dictate your future. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and every step you take brings you nearer to the life you were meant to live. Thank you for investing your time and heart into this message today. I believe in your ability to rise, to conquer, and to claim what is rightfully yours. Keep pushing, stay inspired, and remember, you have everything it takes to get whatever you want. God bless you.